Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, coming at you with round two. This is season 3, week 1 of Grand Arena Championships. Let me show you the board here and show you kind of how things went down. First off, we're going to start by going down south, taking out the teams that I know exactly what I'm going to use and get those out of the way, see what's behind there. He's got a Grievous team there, and then he's got Kira's Scoundrels with Nest. So we'll start off by taking out the Grievous team. And for that, I'm sure you guys have seen this plenty of times. You like to use the Bastille-led JKR team. And I have my Yoda to go fastest. So I open with his AoE and then spread buffs. And that makes B2 pop out of stealth. And then after he's out, I can just go ahead and mark him right away. I don't have to mess around with sending turn meter, to anyone else or having Jedi Knight Revan go first. That doesn't really work for me, I guess. So this has been working, having Yoda go first and doing his thing. That way you can get B2 out of there right away. Then it's just a matter of kind of biding your time until Mark is back up and you can focus down on Grievous. So that's all I got to do now. We're stuck behind Taunt on Magna Guard, so just got to worry about, doing basics and whatnot. Try not to kill him. He's got a Gear 12 Magna Guard, so it's a little bit harder. It is kind of nice, actually, when people have Gear 13, because that way they're a lot tankier, and you can wail on them a bit more and don't have to worry about them dying. When they're Gear 12, you kind of got to watch out how much damage you do. Otherwise, they're going to end up dying, and then, Grievous will get another AoE, get to go again. And, that could spell trouble for your team if they're not geared up enough. Speaking of which, I might mention that, a lot of people are still using their Jedi team at Gear 12. People's Grievous teams are only getting better, and with them being required for General Skywalker, you got to have Relic 3 pretty much. They're getting stronger and stronger Grievous teams. You guys got to make sure you're keeping your counter teams on par. You can't do with a solid G12, Jedi team anymore. I've got Gear 13 on Jedi Revan and Yoda and a couple relics on them, and I just put Gear 13 on my Bastila and working on Jolie. You got to keep your counters up, on par with the teams that you're using them to counter. You don't want to fall behind, otherwise you're not going to be able to get the job done. It's going to fail you when when you least want it to happen. You never want to fail, but you definitely got to keep those counters up. So you can see, still working on Grievous. I got Magna Guard died on me, so got to still take him out. Got B1 and Droideka that I'm keeping kind of an eye on. You don't want Droideka taking out somebody in just one shot. So keep working on Grievous though. Not much else to do. Some more relics would help with that. Having a Relic 7 Yoda or Jedi Knight Revan if you can spare it. Get some heavy damage in there. Especially with Yoda. I think mine's Relic 3. Definitely going to keep working on him just to make sure that that goes much smoother. You can see they killed off my Jedi Knight Revan, so there goes some damage, but I got Grievous down to the red. Finally, he dies. So got rid of him. Trying to see if I can swing it back around to Jolie, if he's going to get his revive move back in time to be able to bring Revan back and get me a couple more points, but it doesn't look likely. Because there went B1, and then I just got Droideka left, and that's that. So, took the team out, did it in one shot, but only got 55 banners for that. This one got me, man. Okay, so it was the Kira Scoundrel team with Nest. And this is my pretty much standard counter for the Nest teams. I use CLS, Han and Chewie. I got Wampa, and then I got Chopper in there. And the reason I like to bring Wampa and Chopper is the fact that neither one of them will reduce turn meter automatically like how Han does, or CLS does, you can't have too much turn meter reduction or Nest won't get to go. And so you got to constantly be aware of that. And then Wampa and Chewie and Han both hit pretty hard. Matter of fact, my CLS does too because he's gear 13. And right there you can see Wampa hit, but usually he hits for much more than that. But he only got a 38k hit there. And so I got Nest down to red. And I'm going to speed up here because this is where it just failed. I tried basics. I tried, everything I could. And I ended up timing out on this lone Nest. Got her down to red bar and couldn't seal the deal. And that was so frustrating. It's been forever since that's happened to me. So I had to send in a cleanup team. And if you're stuck in this situation and you got a low health Nest, pretty much the best cleanup you can have is Operas. Send him in there and use his special. And he'll be able to just one-shot Nest like he did right there. I sent in the rest of the team just as insurance. But at this point, with my opponent's roster and seeing everything like, what he put on defense, opening that back zone, I knew like one loss is over. This is going to be one of those where it's you lose once, that's it. So he had some really tough Nightsisters, and I wanted to see if my Imp Troopers would be strong enough to take out these Nightsisters. They are tuned to take out Nightsisters, but he had decent relics. He had a R6 Asajj in there. The only one that wasn't gear 13 was Zombie. So everyone else is, hitting pretty hard, and you can see that the run just is not going well. And I've got relics on my Snow Trooper, Range Trooper, and then Stark is gear 13 relic 1. And so even with that, 3 out of 5, they're still not on par with the Nightsisters. So they're more suited to taking out something where there's 1 or 2 gear 13s and low relic levels. Definitely got to put some work into Imps if I want to use them to counter the high relic Nightsister teams like that one. So I don't know. I use it as a learning experience. Like I said, the first loss was pretty much the nail in the coffin. So the second one didn't really matter. So I'm going to just move up top and start taking out his teams there. I got Darth Revan taking out his General Skywalker. Thankfully, it's not a Relic 7 General Skywalker team. Those teams are a pain. Like, if they've got a modded right and everybody Relic 7 and everything, it's very tricky. If you guys saw my last round, I went against one, and my Bastilla Fallen went kind of 1v1 against General Skywalker and actually pulled it off. Well, here, it's quite a bit easier when there's 5-star. He just doesn't have the damage, and he doesn't have the protection, doesn't have that tank ability, and just being able to one-shot everybody. And I think my opponent here was missing a couple Zetas. Didn't have the one that helps kill Malik, where he does damage if they don't have any protection. So you can see that it's not too bad. It's still not very efficient on banners, but definitely not as iffy as it is if it's a Relic 7 General Skywalker team. So took that one out. He just got a Karth team with Wampa as the 5th. And you guys know for that one, I like to go ahead and use my First Order. I think it's a pretty easy counter. I'm not worried about being all banner efficient this time, just because with 2 losses already under your belt, like, who cares? So just go through, beat the team in one, and hope for the best. And I personally, this is me, I don't like Wampa as a 5th on this team, especially if you're setting Karth on defense. But I guess it's good if you're not going to use Wampa anywhere else. I mean, might as well use it, because it does have dot synergy. But with First Order, you just use Cruise 2-turn stun Wampa, and then he's out of the picture, and you don't have to worry about him. Start taking out everybody else. But I will show you something that does happen that's interesting. He had Gear 13, I forget what the relic level was on Wampa. Does some pretty heavy damage. And you'll see once where I forget to stun him at the right time and see what happens. Right now I've got Zalbar stunned, got Wampa stunned. Can't get to mission, but I can still just, boost the turn meter for my team and work on taking him out. Right now I'm trying to take some chunks out of Zalbar, get him down, then I don't have to worry about his taunt. Finally, missions out of stealth. We'll go ahead and work on her, send some turn meter to Executioner. Almost got him down. Right there, Wampa's counterattack just nailed Crew. Just kind of one-shot him, and that was the end of Crew. It's like you blink, and then there he goes. So I guess Wampa can be an asset if you're not paying attention to who's stunned and who's doing what. So because him killing Crew definitely cost me some points. Like I said, it was irrelevant at this point, but definitely if you're going for an efficiency game, FO is a team that can easily get you 60 points, and instead I've got 56. So got my 56 points. You can see there I made it up into the Bronzium division. So now I'm going to take out his FO, and he had just a standard team. He had a Gear 13 Crew, but only one Zeta on him. And First Order on defense is not very tough at all. You can mirror them. You can use Imp Troopers. I thought about using Imp Troopers there. I probably should have done that and just used Padme against the Nightsisters, as a preferred counter anyway. But, tried things out, and what works, works, and what doesn't. So I ended up, since he had no Darth Revan team on defense, I didn't need to save my Grievous nuke squad, and I could put BB-8 back with JTR and just run a standard resistance counter to his First Order. Works really well because of the healing immunity. And I've got Holdo in there just for the days is good, the AoE days, but also that days has a chance, each one, of critting, and each crit has a chance of putting an expose on there, so it's more turn meter to the team. So I really do like Holdo, as much as I don't like the character in general. It's just pretty useful. Having that AoE days is huge. So you can see I'm just knocking them down. You take your time, go one by one. Not a lot to say here. Keep Crew stunned so that he doesn't use his 2-turn stun special against you, and then just start taking him out bit by bit. You always get it down to the 2 Kylos left. So now that I got both of them and they're both stunned, I'm just working on taking them out. And eventually, you'll be able to do the double tap with BB-8 and put healing immunity down on one of them, and then whoever you put healing immunity down on, that's the one you can take out. Because they do gain health and protection back every time they get a status effect, but that locked healing immunity will stop that. So right now it's Crew, took him out, and just working on wrapping up Kylo there. And this is another team that, if you have the option to use it, you can get a good 60 banners from this team. So if you are practiced with your JTR, and a lot of us are from like Territory Wars and such, where people used to put First Order walls, it's not a hard squad to take out. You can do so and do so efficiently for 60 points right there. So that was easy. That was done. He put his Negotiator in the back, and I pretty much figured that. We're going to go down south, take out these last 2 ground squads, and then I'm going to take out his Negotiator. And I'm going to show you guys how that went. Normally, I don't show my ship battles because I think they're boring. But, this one was pretty interesting. So here I got his Nightsisters, and I forfeited out with my troopers, so it didn't load turn meter or anything since I didn't make much of a dent on them. And I'll start off fresh with a Padme team. Got Zaris in there for the extra healing. Figured that would help. And then Shock T in there as the 5th. since Ahsoka now goes with the 501st. It takes a minute, but you got enough healing in here. You can keep working on them. But like I said, his Nightsisters are pretty stacked. He's got good gear and relics on everyone except for Zombie. And that R6 Asajj definitely is no joke. It takes a minute to start getting everybody down. His Daka's got decent health on her, so you can't just knock her out real easily. You can see every time I get a shot in, it's like they keep going, they keep going. Thankfully, and you got to watch out and protect your Jedi Knight Anakin. Hopefully you got him relicked up by now. Having a Relic 7 Jedi Knight Anakin is huge. Being able to, when you get that one good shot in, get an AoE that's going to help clear the table. So I was able to dogpile Daka there, got her out, Asajj out. Now he's got Talzin and Spirit and Zombie left to worry about. And right there you can see Talzin's just basic. Took out Shaak Ti. Like, my Shaak Ti is only gear 12, you know, not modded the best, but right there, that one shot just blew her away. So, more points lost. I mean, it's definitely a good squad to take some points off the board if you're worried about efficiency. So, got that done. Wasn't the best on banners. Now I've got my Traya squad, and I'll go ahead and use it here against his Separatists. He's got Watt on the team, Newt lead with Dooku, and it's a pretty solid team. In general, it can definitely get nasty and definitely take a lot of points off the board. Got to watch out for that. But I want to take out Watt right away, get him off the, get him off the board. That way I don't have to worry about him reviving anybody and don't have to worry about his extortion. That can get really nasty. These points are designed, these teams are designed to take a lot of points off. There's people getting, 50 banners against a Newt team because they lose so much health and protection. So, just got to keep working my way through the team. It's not too bad because, it's Traya team. Not much is going to stop a Traya team. You got Nihilus, who's eventually going to just annihilate everybody anyway. So, not worried about losing this. And at this point, I'm not worried about banner efficiency anyway. With 2 losses, if I lose, I deserve to lose. And I figured that by looking at my opponent's roster with just the 1 loss on the board, that was going to do it for me. I didn't really expect him to get stuck. And it is harder now, too, with only 7 ground teams. They're not stretched. You have a lot more ammunition you can use when you have that 8th teams that you get to hold in reserve. That's extra teams that you can, put together and rearrange and make the best teams you can make. So I don't know that I like it with ships taking away an extra ground squad. I get it, but it makes people be able to have a lot more characters to plan their defense and attack strategies, and your opponent isn't going to be taxed for having to reach toward the depths of his roster to be able to take you out. So this is the ship battle, and I tried what my buddy Klesso uses. He said start off with Ahsoka and Houndstooth and Anakin, and then do some damage to their Anakin, and that way, right there, when they go, the negotiator will use the healing as their first move, and instead of using the one where it puts days on everybody, and then you get to do that first before they do. Well, that's all well and good, except it seems like they dogpile my Ahsoka and get her out of the picture really fast, and then you're kind of fighting from behind because she is one of the heavy damage dealers, gets to do a lot of the work, and being able to sometimes dispel the buffs and take out the taunt when you want to get around it is pretty good. So that's what I'm working on here. Right now, I'm kind of fighting from behind, but I was able to take out his Anakin, and once you get him out, it gets a heck of a lot easier. It's trouble getting Houndstooth out, but that's not a big deal if you don't have to worry about Anakin doing major damage behind your back. And then you can see that he's got his other Ahsoka over there that's low on health. So I just got to wait till I can get an AoE or get, focus down there, get her out of the picture. And I'm just trying to think in the back of my mind, okay, I at least want to clear the board. So if I can take out as many ships as I can, it'll be easier if I have to come in and clean up with a Falcon or Geos or whatever, other fleets there are. So I don't know if I was expecting to knock this out in one, but thankfully was able to get Houndstooth out of the way, which is a huge pain to have to go up against. And then there went Ahsoka. And at that point, I'm sitting pretty, and it's like, man, got all the heavy hitters out of the way. Now I can start working on the rest, and I should have this battle well in hand. But I'm no ships guru. There's people out there that know how all these moves work and everything and the right ways to do everything. And that ain't me, man. I just pretty much click buttons and do what my friends tell me. I'm not the expert when it comes to ships, but I know where to go and get good advice. So I was able to knock that out in one and take 60 manners for that. And that was good enough for me. I was surprised. I've always struggled with negotiator mirror matches. So that's what I did. I got 1866, which is not a great score, having lost twice. And even if I wouldn't have lost twice, okay, that 40 points would have made 1906. And I don't know that would be good enough to win. My opponent had a really good roster, and he did end up clearing my board. He one-shot everything, so didn't drop any battles. His efficiency was pretty good. I think he ended up with 1909 or 1903, something like that. Definitely deserved the win. He went through and just one-shot everything, didn't struggle anywhere, look like. So hats off to him, and we'll see you guys in the final round. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.